computer here, as well as a bit in front of me as well. So we're talking today, we've got a full review on these irons coming. The weather has just beaten me today because it's been absolutely awful weather. Hello, we're live, everybody. Welcome. As always with live broadcasts, it's funny, you never know actually when you are live, there's always a delay, so the start of them is always painful, isn't it? But we're live now, and hello. We're talking Callaway X Forged. So we're looking at the X Forged and the Apex MB. Now, just to let you know, I've done full reviews. I've been out filming today. I did get caught a little bit in the rain. So there's a bit more to finish. So the full reviews will come on my channel for certainly, I think we're going to start with Apex MB tomorrow around 7 PM. So look out for that. There's on course. I've also got dry ball data as well, which will hopefully let you see exactly how these clubs perform. This is more just an overview of what these clubs and what you can expect from these clubs. So we've got the bladed Apex MB. It's a forged iron. And then you've got the X Forged 18, so you can see slight cavity. So Callaway are going at that kind of players market with both of these. These have been seen in players bag. I think we actually saw Rory gaming that one at the start of the year when he was a Callaway thinker, if you like, thinking about Callaway. Obviously now gone to TaylorMade. And then I think we've seen, quote me if I'm wrong, but I think we've seen Phil Mickelson using this one on tour. So they have been out on tour for a bit of the season, and there's hints that they're becoming Callaway's most popular better players irons, which we're going to talk about in a second. Apex My Blade, let's go into the chat room here. MB makes MP18 look like a Lego brick. Stunning looking club from Darren Clack, almost Clark. Apex My Blade, James says, when you get tester clubs, are the custom fit to you shaft and specs? Yes, Phil, 99% of the time they are. I try and demand that they are from manufacturers. Some are better than others with that kind of stuff. PGA Tour driven video works for me. Thank God for that. Mark Bowdy, hi Mark. Afternoon, bro. On the way back from Lisbon. Got to love your stuff to catch up on. Cool. Lisbon's a great city, Mark. I love it. And then one more at Arnon. If I see Callaway Apex irons, my banker runs for the hills. Good comment. Okay, so let's start with the Apex MB. So we're getting complete classic bladed looking club. It's just like a kind of muscle backy, very slim muscle backy club. We're getting a very thin top line, next to no offset in this one. Obviously this is forged. I quite like, I don't know if you can see it there on the hosel. See this little kind of crimping here around the hosel, like the Wilson irons had that. I am really digging that. They've got some kind of classic looks going on about them. Now, obviously, I've been out on the course. I don't want to give too away. The full review will come tomorrow, but these are just kind of classic looking, beautiful blades. When you go into the kind of marketing guff, if you like, that Callaway produce with these clubs, it's kind of three main points. One being the tour shape driven, inspired. I've got it in front of me here, inspired by tour pros. You know, they kind of work closely with their players on what they want to see. I mean, there isn't a bladed company really that doesn't kind of say that when it comes to these clubs, because they're the kind of people who are they want them playing them, and they need to look a certain way for them. Here's the 6 iron, again similar to the 4 iron, next to no offset, same crimping around the neck part here as well, which looks nice. Medium soles. 6 iron loft, if you want to know the loft of the 6 iron is 30 degrees, so not in the crazy strong bracket, going up to 7 iron 34 degrees. If you strike a blade, so James is asking in the chat, if you strike a blade and a cavity back iron, does it feel different? It depends what you bring to. That's a really good question. I've done lots of videos trying to explain this to people. I think the idea of what blades the cavity backs can do, I think, is very misleading for lots of people. They will feel different, offset, depending on how far away from the middle you hit, but it's very overplayed how much help actually a cavity black can give you, I personally think, over a blade or a minor cavity back. Like, it's really marketed at you, and it's something that lots of people kind of seem happy to fall for and just go along with. It's an interesting one. I think there's lots of content that will be made on that discussion. Pitching wedge loft 47, Sam Vale 47, and the pitching wedge in the apex, I've got a 50-degree gap wedge in mine. The pitching wedge is a beautiful gaming shape, so something I could really put in the bag, something that would kind of fit in, I think, with lots of people's kind of, you know, specialised wedges, that kind of idea. It's a very good looking pitching wedge. Again, same crimping round the neck. It does nothing. It's just like old school and classic. I mean, they might say it does something, but it doesn't do anything apart from look really cool, I think. X-Forged and Apex Pro, what's the difference in forgiveness mark? Gary Smith. So there's the big question, Gary. Something that, unfortunately, people will pretend they're measuring it, but you can't. I cannot measure the difference, and I've tried, believe me, for many years. The difference in forgiveness between Apex Forged with the cavity back, so you can see there it is a, if I can get it in line with the camera, it is a cavity back iron compared to the muscle bar back. People often ask me to hit the ball off different parts of the face. I'm always hitting the ball off different parts of the face, and when you know you're going to hit it in different parts of the face, you make certain adjustments often. And certain bits of the face are hotter than others, so the toes travelling faster than the middle, you hit it low or high, you're going to get different spin numbers from hitting in different parts of the face. It's a very false belief to think that you can just hit them off different parts of the face and test that. It has so many variables that it's preposterous, but I think there's people out there pretending that is happening, which is a little worrying. So when it comes to which one is more forgiving, it's very hard for me to say. Obviously, your kind of marketed knowledge of clubs will argue that the X-Forge is more forgiving, but well, you'll see in the review I'm hitting shots on different parts of the face, and the distance I'm getting out of the club is kind of there or there with both of them, so you'll see that in the full review. That's why I take them out on the course as well, to try and show you both, or show you all how both of them really do and don't perform in those real terms, rather than just kind of, you know, talking about the 300 revs conversations that those daft forums seem to want to do. Which do you think coach will be getting? Hashtag Lockie Army. I reckon he wants to be a Parfield Blade player. I reckon he's jealous that he plays with such a quality ball striker now in myself, and that he has to use, you know, things that are helping the poor kid out. So I think he wants to step up to the plate. I think he goes that one, but I imagine he might blend them, and that's an interesting point. You can blend, because the top lines are quite similar, the offsets aren't crazily different. The X-Forge to the Apex MB, I could see blends. He could go 4-iron in this and stay in his Apex in the 3-iron, then 5-iron in the blades, those kind of ideas. So the blending options is there. If I show you the 4-irons on both, so there's the 4-iron top lines on both. It's not crazy different, so they will blend quite nicely, absolutely. So RBL Rickster, how is the turf interaction? Turf interaction is actually mentioned in one of the marketing bits of guff, but turf interaction is a hilarious one. How's your turf interaction? That's the bigger question, how theirs turf interaction. It's how we put the club down. Think about it. I mean, how can you build a club with turf interaction built in, really? Because you're going to have someone who's going to deliver X amount of shaft lean, someone with different amounts, someone with, you know, less amount, all good players, and that's changing the bounce, the kind of carving away at the bottom, subject to how you're delivering it. Turf interaction is one of those buzzwords around these kind of clubs that blows my head off. I think it's a funny one. I'm not sure we read a lot into that, because when it comes to these clubs, there's not actually that much to read into them, and I really like that. There's not just, you know, loads and loads of guff about marking and those kind of stuff. Someone asked earlier, are they available in left hand? Apex MB, yes, they are, and the X-Forge also available in left hand. X-Forge loft of a 6-iron. So the 6-iron X-Forge is 29 degrees, so it's 1 degree lower, and then the 7-iron is 33 degrees. So there's 1 degree difference between the two, and I imagine that's got to do with launch, obviously, as you pull the weight off the face. If you put the same loft on both of these clubs, these are going to go higher They're going to produce possibly different spin numbers, but I'll show you all the numbers tomorrow. So I think that's just probably to keep launches, you know, dialed in so you can blend the sets. Those kind of ideas. I will only hit a club first if it has slots on it, Bjorn. Will the tech heal a fin bullet? Nothing can heal a fin bullet, Finley, as much as you want them to. Joe Smith asks, how did you like them? Well, you can watch tomorrow to get my full opinion on them, but to be honest with you, they're quite nice looking. They are gameable, very gameable. I use them on the course. I also got the dry ball testing. You can watch me play a few holes with them. See if I can hold butts after I get the ball close. You know, it's a bit more of a real test, which is kind of how you would play with them. So you can see that tomorrow, and then for the rest of the week there'll be a few more. So it'll be the Apex tomorrow for definite. So check that out. Remember, if you're liking the live broadcast, hit that thumbs up button. What side is it on, do you reckon? I reckon it's on this side. No, it's that side, down there. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you don't already. Will blades break my wrist? MK46. No. Which do you prefer the look of, your Mizunos or those blades? John, interesting question. I actually touch on that in tomorrow's video, so watch. It's close, actually, it's closer. Are you playing MP18s SCs now from Steve? No, I'm still using my MP5s at the minute. PGA Tour driven. No, just hurt your hands when the cold if you mishit it, lol. So people talking about the blades when you mishit it, how much they're going to sting. To be honest with you, any club when you mishit it, it's going to sting if your hands are cold. So I think Callaway have gone. It's a very good club this year for 2018 in these two. I think they're going to do quite well with them. You're going to see a lot of tour presence with them. It'd be interesting to see if the X Forge does better than the Apex. For me personally, I think I preferred the Apex MB. Being a bladed player, there was a fraction bit of offset on the 4-iron in the X Forged, which, even though that's there to help with a bit of launch and those kind of ideas, I just didn't like looking down at it as much. But you'll see on the video, it certainly didn't make much of a difference to the shots, because it goes for, you've got to remember, I don't really hit 4-irons. I use a rinky-dink and stop at a 5-iron, or as Eduardo Molinari calls it, a dinky-dink. And I was hitting quite a lot of shots with the 4-iron in these videos, and there were some good ones. Maybe I should use a 4-iron. All off a tee. It's from the deck, where 4-iron for me is just killer. And certainly slightly out of the rough, those kind of ideas. Any plans to play a Royal Dornoch in the coming future? Plans, Carl, to play everywhere I can get to. How many greens will I hit with them, Derek? That's a great question. I think you'll hit every green, Derek. I think you'll hit every green you ever try to hit. I guess my answer's as crazy as your question. I don't know, do I? Do blades give you that Tour Pro plane? Adam, obviously. Will they only be good if you hit the Callaway balls? Beyond, obviously they will, yes. If you don't use a Truvis with them, that ain't gonna work. Release date is November the 3rd. PGA Tour Driven has just put, which is interesting, because obviously I get them as a media sample. I never know when you guys actually can really get them. They tell me, but I don't really kind of listen, because I'm not in that market anymore. I haven't been for years. Are you coming back to Ireland to play soon? MK46, absolutely want to, indeed. Do they have a 2-iron PGA Tour Driven? 3-iron in X Forged, 2-iron in Apex MB, which is quite interesting if you think about it, because you'd imagine the X Forged would be more of a desirable 2-iron, but in the Apex MB, 18-degree 2-iron is available. Sam Vale, thoughts on Tiger? Don't know if he'll compete again, but great to see him hitting some balls. Right, hopefully that gives you a little overview. Fuel reviews coming. I just wanted to kind of introduce these two, because I didn't have a video coming tonight, and I thought people would want to have some questions. Hopefully you've answered a few of them. What's your opinion compared to other MB or smaller cavities out there? Sam, watch tomorrow. I do talk about that in tomorrow's video. And I also do some compares for you as well. We'll try and do, when Dan's back, Dan's in France at the minute, we'll try and do some live compares as well with some more clubs to try and show you how little and lots of effect our opinions and those kind of things have on testing these. But these are two good looking irons from Callaway. Thanks for all tuning in. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yes, it's pouring down here in Devon now. So I'm going to go and pick the kids up with an umbrella. Post comments down below. I'll try and answer a few more if you post down below. Remember to hit the thumbs up button. If you don't subscribe already, hit that subscribe button. Loads more lives, loads more reviews. Daily vlog tonight is an interesting one about handle and head relationships on the way through for anyone slicing with their driver. Slightly different way of thinking about it. So that will come tonight between 7:30 and 8, or 7 and 8:30. Not sure subject to edits. Thanks as always for watching. Look forward to seeing you soon. Hit comments down below. I'll keep trying to answer as the day goes on. And remember, if you're liking the lives, hit that thumbs up button. Speak to you all soon.